Salam alaikum. Trying something now. See how it works out with you. I'm using my tablet. Can you tell? I'm going to try to see if this is going to actually upload because I have a new idea. I think I mentioned to you that I was going to make another channel and it would not be based on religion and I'm going to monetize it because everyone tells me I should monetize, which I wouldn't do for the religion, but they want me to concentrate on history and culture because of my being an American Muslim and my being educated and having some knowledge of many subjects. That it would be useful for my listeners who may not be as culturally aware because they weren't born here or they weren't educated in the American, let's say, system where we have an overall view of certain things that are perhaps, hopefully, they're true, maybe they're not, but I could sift it and do something along these lines. And they keep telling me it's very important, and the religion is the most important. So I'll keep my original religious channel, and then I will do what they would consider to be something of my choice. See if I'm even reading them right, if I'm doing what they would wish I would do. So I was imagining what could I do along those lines that might be useful for my listeners to enjoy. And then I came up with something that is questionable for us. We have something called poetry. And is it good or is it not good? Should we even listen to any poetry or is poetry all bad? Well, of course, the scholars say it depends on what kind of poetry and what the poetry is saying. And so I'm going to pull up one right now that was one of my favorites when I was young. And I'm going to see if I can actually pause this tablet and come back to you and read the small poem. Inshallah. Pause button. I'm back. It seems I succeeded. I found the poem and I will read it. It's called If. And in Islam, we say the word if opens the door to Satan. Yes, that's a hadith of Prophet Muhammad. But this was my favorite poem in high school. And I think it still is my favorite poem. It's by Rudyard Kipling, a British author. And his dates are born in 1865, died in 1936. Now, I'm going to give you a warning that there's one part, and when I get to it, I'll say this is totally wrong. But basically, I love this poem, and I hope you do too. And we're going to analyze it together. And this will be just a little test run, trial run for my channel, my upcoming channel, which is historically, culturally, sociologically relevant for Muslims to deal with. If by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss. See, that's gambling. So that's what we don't like that. And lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they have gone, and so hold on to when there's nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And which is more, you'll be a man, my son. I'm laughing because when I first heard that poem, and in the end they said, and you'll be a man, my son. Well, that was written over 100 years ago, and I guess those were considered manly virtues. But you see, in Islam, what we call virtues, correct behavior, based on the words of Allah and His Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, are the same for men and women. And that's the miracle of our religion. Virtue, obedience, we call it ta'ah, obedience to Allah and His Prophet Muhammad, do not specifically signal that the best of those would be men. So I chose that because it is my favorite poem. And I know that there is a hadith of Prophet Muhammad which says, it's better to fill your bellies with putrid pus than to fill them with poetry. Yes, that's a hadith. So I think it might be an idea. I don't know. Let me know what you think. And let me know if you like the idea of having a new channel to broaden, let's say, some perspective. I won't say broaden your horizon because your horizon is Quran and Sunnah. That would be the utmost pinnacle of information, knowledge that you could reach. But broaden your perspective. That's what I mean about, there's a saying, east is east and west is west, and never the twain shall meet. Twain meaning two of them. I'm not sure if they could meet in any other way other than Islam. If you take Islam out, they'll never meet. But I had a great teacher said to me one time that cultures keep people apart. Islam brings people together, and that is for sure. So if you have the time or the inclination that you could listen to this poem a couple of times, perhaps you would not understand every word in it, but you have a dictionary and you can look up the words that you don't know, and maybe you could just Google the poem, if, and then read along with the text that would be there on your phone. And let me know. Let me know what you think, because I'm going to upload this, and I know that we are in the last half of the beautiful 10 days of Dhul Hajj. However, when I get a notion in my mind, as long as it's not against Quran and Sunnah, I usually try to do it because this has been on my mind for quite a while. I've been listening to some friends instigate in me the idea that this would be a worthy cause for my listeners. So we'll see. Let me know. Respond, please. I sound like all those YouTubers. Give me a like. Give me a share. Let me know what you feel about my idea because I know in these last 10 days we're supposed to do more than usual. We're supposed to do as much as possible. We're supposed to go over and above. So I hope this is going over and above in the sense of what might help. Maybe you could use it with your children in school because they're learning these things. And I'll only choose what I think is best because we did learn a lot when I was in school that was downright destructive, may I say, in literature and poetry, giving the wrong messages. And I guess that's what I'm trying to do is not everything from the West is bad. And I'm going to filter for you, inshallah. Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum.